Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, and welcome to this educational video. At this time, I will talk about the material that we will present, that is, prescriptive grammar versus descriptive grammar. But before that, it's good that all of you can find out who will bring the material this time. There are Cikal Valian Talenta, Febi Anasya Rusdi, Muhammad Ridho Disham, Tari Sri Togala, and the last speakers is me, Satya Astuti Samad. We are a group of students and young students from the English Department of IAIN Kendari. Okay, without wasting much time, let's start the discussion.
I am Muhammad Ridho Disham, and I want to talk about prescriptive grammar. Prescriptive grammar is the set of rules and example dealing with the syntax and word structure of a language, usually intended as an aid to the learning of the language. Prescriptive grammar refers to the structure of language a certain people think it should be used. Prescriptive grammar focus on the correctness of language. They believe that a set of rules cover language use.
Okay, next, descriptive grammar. A descriptive grammar is a set of rules about language based on how it is actually used. In a descriptive grammar, there is no right or wrong language. Descriptive grammarians focus on the way a language is actually used by people. They believe that language is neither correct nor incorrect, and the grammar may follow certain patterns but never rules. So, descriptive grammar is the systematic study and description of a language, and refers to the structure of a language as it is actually used by speakers and writers.
Perspective approach. The first, attitude towards language based on what is held to be correct by socially prestigious elements and by teachers. And the second, this attitude evinces conflict disagrees for the way a community actually speaks.
Descriptive approach. The goal of the descriptive approach is a description and knowledge of rule principles of how the language is actually spoken.
Next is the rules of prescriptive grammar. Some rules of prescriptive grammar are: first, he, subject of a sentence, must agree with the verb. The instructions are clear, not the instruction is clear. Secondly is use much for count nouns. Use many for non-count nouns. For example, we don't have much coffee, and we don't have many cups of coffee. Next is capitalize the first letter of a sentence. For example, the television is broken. It needs to be fixed. Next is use subjects pronouns after the verb be. For example, it was I who called you, not it was me who called you. And the last is use the definite article the before names of rivers and geographical areas, but not before the names of lakes or continents. For example, the Nile, the Middle East, and Lake Tewa, Asia. Next, the rules of descriptive grammar. Some rules of descriptive grammar are: first, some English speakers end a sentence with a preposition. For example, who do you want to speak to? Secondly is some English speakers use double negatives for negation. For example, I don't have nothing. Next is adjective precede the nouns they modify. For example, red book, nice guy. And then to form the plural of a noun, add s. For example, one room, two rooms, one book, two books. And the last is the vowel sounds in the word sweet is produced with round lips.
Here I have an example. I versus me. Jake and me are coming to the party too. Now, what does prescriptive grammar say? Prescriptive grammar says, here, me is used as subject. Instead, we should use I. Me should be used as object. So, according to prescriptive grammar, sentence should read, Jake and I are coming to the party too. Now, what does descriptive grammar say? Me is becoming increasingly widespread in subject position. So, according to descriptive grammar, the sentence is okay. Jake and me are coming to the party too. Here is another example. Who versus whom? The woman who I met looks sick. Prescriptive grammar says, here, who is used as object. Instead, we should use whom. Who should be used as subject. So, according to prescriptive grammar, sentence should read, the woman whom I met looks sick. But the descriptive grammar says, who is usually used as both subject and object. So, according to descriptive grammar, the sentence is okay. The woman who I met looks sick.
Difference between prescriptive grammar versus descriptive grammar. Descriptive grammar is that approach to study grammar that describes the native or non-native speaker's usage of language. There are no standard rules in descriptive grammar, but in prescriptive grammar is the approach to study grammar that is related to correct or incorrect established norms of language usage. Prescriptive grammar has a specific standard set of grammar rules. The main difference between the terms descriptive grammar and prescriptive grammar is that descriptive grammar is the general description of how the language is used, whereas prescriptive grammar describes how the speakers must use the language.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this video is useful for us. See you!